Ret and Tarson are ready, the Polish casters are ready. Once again, I do want to mention, guys, that Cormac is actually casting on the Polish stream, and from what I've heard, he's doing an excellent job. So,
well, he's a total nerd boss champion. So Cormac is such an amazing guy. The road to Blizzcon underway. Ret versus Tarson. We'll be right back, guys, with game number 3. Guys, we are back. It is game number 3, Ret versus Tarson. The map will be Typhon Peaks, and I'm a little bit relieved, Rotterdam, that we do not have a close spawn. Ret down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen as the blue Zerg, and of course Tarson, who we're looking at right now, the red Terran, spawning in the bottom left. This should be very interesting.
I do think we're going to see a very similar build from Tarson as he did in the previous games, perhaps. 2 Hellions more or less, but other than that, Tarson is a player in general who loves to practice his style, and as soon as he feels that it's good with it, he just keeps doing it, you know, and if he loses the game, it doesn't throw him off. He's like, okay, I made a few errors, it's okay, that can happen, I'm still going to do it. And he probably practiced this build insane amounts, because I know that he was very, very eager to do well, of course, here on home soil in Warsaw.
Yeah, right. I have to just say how impressed I've been with Tarson's control, going basically Marine Hellion against Ling Baneling, and not having a single siege tank to soak up those Banelings, and then just rocking with the great splits and letting those Hellions take what damage they needed to take. So he's been playing very well. That second game really opened my eyes to how excellent his control is.
And what I think should give him a lot of confidence is that this last game didn't even go perfect with Tarson. I mean, he took way too much damage in that attack from Ret.
Didn't even kill anything.
No, he was completely unprepared for that big attack from Ret. Nevertheless, still with all those barracks with those reactors on it, pumping out Marines, he still managed to survive. And after that, this push was like completely unhorrible for Ret. It was so strong. He had so much more than Ret had to offer. And I think this should give Tarson really a lot of confidence. Like, okay, if that can go wrong and I can still win this game, imagine if that wouldn't have happened.
I agree. I think Ret kind of slipped a little bit in his upgrades last game. You can't expect to engage a fully upgraded Terran army without any upgrades of your own. He only had the plus attack for his ground army, and again, only having the plus attack for his mutas as well. So I'd like to see him rectify that here in game number 3, as you know, losing on account of not upgrading your stuff never leaves you with a good taste in your mouth.
Once again, we do see a similar opening from Ret, of course, with the hatchery before the spawning pool, and he will follow it up most likely with speedlings as soon as possible. But I do want to highlight actually once again that I still think that Tarson is one of the most underrated players in Europe. This guy has a very, very impressive resume. I mean, he got 4th place at the biggest Starcraft 2 event, or at least the first major Starcraft 2 event ever last year at the Intel Extreme Masters Global Challenge at Gamescom. Tarson got top 4. He lost against Dimaga in the 3rd place Italian. I'm not sure who lost in the semi-final too. It was either Moro or Idra. I think it was Moro actually. But anyway, he got top 4 at Gamescom. He got top 4 at the Intel Extreme Masters Continental Finals as well in Kiev. Very impressive. He went 5-0 I believe in his group. Then in the playoffs he managed to beat, no, he went 4-1 I think in his group. But still, in the playoffs he managed to beat Soccer back then 3-0. And just barely a month ago he managed to get top 4 once again at a big international tournament. Getting top 4 at the Home Story Cup 3 hosted by Dennis Galen. And I mean, that's really impressive. Not a lot of StarCraft players can say that they've made top 4 so many times in big international tournaments.
Yeah, I guess the one thing Tarson is having a hard time adding to that resume is a top 1 finish. And he's actually, that last game makes me feel like he's playing well enough to do it here today. I would love to see him continue to perform here. And like you said, Rotterdam, he's just sticking to the same style, tried and true. Reactor Hellion into Tech Lab on the racks, into quick expansion on the high ground. So, you know, Tarson, he obviously feels like this is working for him and he's going to keep with it. So, you know, we're going to have to wait and see if he has the same success as he had in the last game.
Why do you think Ret went for... Oh, Ret went for such an early Roach one, but look at this SCV. It is going to scout the Roach one.
Ret is actually going for a very aggressive kind of Roach
Ling?
Well, I don't think he's going to go with Ling because he doesn't have Ling speed. No. But this is a build that I've seen Sheth use a lot, where basically you go 15 hatch, throw down a Roach run around 25 supply, make a few Roaches, and just pressure the front. And on paper, I feel like that should be really, really good against what Tarson's doing.
But I'm pretty sure that the Terran is not supposed to scout it that easily.
Right.
We can see Tarson right now. I was just about to say most likely he will throw up a bunker anytime soon. That's exactly what he does. He doesn't have a Marauder on the field though. I actually think one Marauder in the bunkers would help out a lot fighting off those Roaches. Nevertheless, these 4 Hellions are on their way, and I really, really wonder how Ret is going to follow this up. He's researching speed right now.
Well, you know, I think he realized he got scouted. He's like, all right, I'm not going to be too aggressive here. I'm just going to play defensively with my Roaches. No, he's got 2 more Roaches on the way. Either way, he should be very safe against these Hellions. These Roaches are going to make him basically you're not going to get into his main, right? We see the queens blocking the ramp. 2 more roaches chasing these
Oh,
Hellions.
no.
Oh, a little bit of a drone roast happening. 1 drone does go down. Oh, wow, a lot of damage going down. Oh, great control there by Ret, splitting up those drones expertly. He's going to, oh no, up into the main go the Hellions. So Ret coming off the ramp, slipping up just a little bit, but there's going to only be these 2 Hellions. It takes 3 shots from a Hellion to kill a drone. Ret not microing. Drones coming around to surround. Oh, such a tense moment.
Nevertheless, he did manage to finish off that Hellion in the end with that 1 drone. He lost 6 drones, which is reasonable, but the setting is it's probably still cost effective for Tarson. I mean, he invested 6 on 400 minerals. He killed Dwarf drone of 300 minerals, but nevertheless, I mean, the mining time that he delayed, and of course the work account in general, those drones, they did fall. They won't be able to gather any more resources, and that probably makes it, after all, a good attack by Tarson.
Well, him doing damage is good, but him losing all of his Hellions, not so good. Anytime you commit all of your map control to an attack and then lose that map control, it sucks, because now you're in the dark. So we see Tarson is going to continue being aggressive. He's loaded up 2 more Hellions into a dropship, which is an interesting choice in my opinion. Again, the magic number is 3, but Blue Flame underway. It's not going to finish anytime before this drop, though.
It's 70 seconds remaining until the pre-igniter upgrade is done. Ret is already preparing though. I think he did see those the drop incoming. These Marines do manage to finish off this Overlord though, so that's nice for Tarson. Nevertheless, we have 1 Queen and a Roach waiting. Tarson is going to try to do it nevertheless. No.
Yeah, those Hellions aren't going to do anything. Tarson picking up, getting the hell out of dodge, as the saying goes. So looks like we're going to kind of transition into the mid game here. Tarson is... Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. But what it did do is force those roaches to come back and actually allows Tarson to take this expand a lot easier. I mean, if Red would have had these 8 roaches over here, how's Tarson going to move out anytime soon? That would have been quite hard and would have been risky, because Tarson also wouldn't know how many roaches there are exactly. So what he did force is Red to reposition his army, and that allowed him to take off that expand. So
that's actually a really, really nice point.
Yeah.
One of the cool things about being aggressive is it forces your opponent to reveal what he has, and now Tarson knows exactly what Red's up to. These Hellions once again into the natural Blue Flame finishes, and he gets so many drones. Wow.
5 drones for those 2 Hellions.
That's
very
worth it. Very worth it. So.
Look at this. This little Viking over here is going to land. No, Tarson lifted up too quick. Actually, I do think he wanted to kill that drone, but it's not going to happen. Red is going to morph this drone into a hatchery right now. At least that's what I expect him to do.
So Tarson getting a little bit of payback on those Hellions. So here he is in Game 3, finally getting some return on that Blue Flame investment. Meanwhile, he's thrown down a couple racks. He's got Marauders on the way out, so he's going to be playing like Marine Marauder Hellion against what looks like is going to be Roach Zergling. And I really expect Banelings to be added to this mix soon.
2 Hellions right now in the main base of Red, but Red doing an excellent job. Surrounds the first Hellion straight away. Wow. Red clears up both Hellions without those Hellions getting up a single shot. Once again, of course, he lost a little bit of mining time, but that was excellent.
Yes, sir. Baneling Nest finishing up in the natural of Ret now, so we're going to see Roachling Bane. I've seen Ret do this build many, many times. The way he makes this work is he says, okay, I'm just going to sit back and macro and macro and macro and go Roachling Bane, and as soon as you take a 3rd base, I'm going to commit to crushing it. And I gotta say, it scares me that Tarson isn't making siege tanks. Siege tanks are the great equalizer when you're playing. Oh wait, now I'm a complete liar because the first siege tank is underway.
That's okay. He's having that Marauder mix though. Very interesting. Tarson going for a real drop right now with 3 Marauders and 2 Marines. But look at the harvester count, Mr. Bitter. That's just not good. 37 SCVs against 62 drones. 62. That's a difference of 25. That's just too big. 2 orbitals. It's very useful, but it's not 25 harvesters useful. But let's see. Let's see if Tarson is going to be able to close it. Perhaps kill off a couple of drones right here. Stim is not always done, halfway done, so he's not going to have Stim right now. He will be able to clear up a couple of drones, I guess, but...
Yeah, he'll get a couple of drone kills, but this Medevac's going to have to load up and get out of there very soon. Yeah, and Tarson does load up. There's no Queen down there to poke at that Medevac, so it's in no real danger here. Look at this. Ret got those lings set up that you love to talk about. He's just waiting to counter with that. So as soon as he sees Tarson move out, I'm sure he'll run those probably into the natural. No 3rd base going down from Tarson, and you know what? I feel like he's not steadily producing SCVs. I feel like he's cutting SCVs a lot here, and that worries me a little bit.
I mean, he's building an expensive army. I mean, Marauders, siege tanks, Medevacs over here, Viking here and there. That's quite expensive of 2 base. I mean, it's not just like pumping out a bunch of Marines. There's a Medevac flying in right now. He's going to drop to take out this Queen, but the Medevac is taking a lot of damage. The Medevac will fall. No, actually will fall down. So these units are going to be trapped as well. I don't think that was a very successful drop from Tarson, to say the least.
Not a good trade. Ret did lose a Queen there, which is always a bummer, but he's got, his injects have not been perfect. He's got excess energy on almost all of his Queens, so he can pop in there and inject those extra hatcheries until that new Queen pops out. Meanwhile, man, Red has been droning so hard, almost at 70 drones here, and he's starting to morph Banelings as well. 31 Banelings in production.
That's quite insane. This Overlord a little bit out of position is going to fall down to these Marines. So good job right there by Tarson. And look at this. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Excellent job right there by Red's going to have an insane amount of baning straight away. Still no signs of a third base of Tarson as of yet, and it's probably not going to get there anytime soon. And I don't see how Tarson is going to win this game on 2 base.
Well, you know, he's doing the right thing. He's technically he's behind here, so he's just kind of dropping and doing what harassment he can. But Red is defending this expertly. I'm really surprised at his ability to deal with these drops without any mutas at all. Look at all these banelings up at the top of the map. Whoa, no, drops getting cleaned up there at the bottom of the map. And Tarson, I just feel like he's getting himself further and further behind here, Rotterdam.
Yeah, I really don't feel that these drops are very cost effective. I was so surprised that Tarson started dropping way before Stim was ever completed. Like not just one, but twice actually. Or not just once, but twice. Which surprised me because, I mean, these drops without Stim, they're just so much less effective.
Yes, I do 100% agree with you. And Tarson started to look like he's wanting to move out a little bit. He flew that medevac over that little hit squad of lings in the middle of the map. And he's just kind of poking down there to look at it. Look at this. Ret has so
many
much stuff. Lings and roaches. It looks like Ret wants to commit to an attack here. I'm not sure that that's really necessary. He could just wait till Tarson takes the third, but he's completely maxed out. Of course, when you're maxed, the only way to get more ahead is by doing damage. Here come the Banelings. Siege tanks doing good damage. Baneling's going to crash into the tanks. And wow, there's just so much stuff for Ret. Tarson microing that very well, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Such a big engagement. All of the siege tanks are down, and we still have so many roaches for Red over here, and still 183 supply, producing 15 roaches at once. Slowly but steady, Tarson is forcing these roaches to retreat though, but the bunker does fall down. We still have more than 12 roaches over here, and look at these reinforcements incoming. That's just ridiculous.
Streaming across the across the map. Ret just doing so much. This is huge macro play at its best. Streaming up the ramp. Tarson's in full retreat. His main base is basically forfeit here. SCV's coming off the line, and it's just not going to be enough. Ret's got too many units in the base of Tarson.
So many roaches right now, and Tarson calls GG. Red takes the first series of the European Bnet Invitational.
Excellent play out of both players, quite frankly, but Tarson just, you know, I got to question his choice there in that game. I don't know if he got countered by Ret's style. Maybe Ret recognizing this Marine Hellion mix is something that he can counter better with Roach Baneling, but Tarson, man, he just didn't do any damage there, and he just got further and further behind until eventually Ret could just start throwing units at him. He was basically maxed out. He didn't need to attack there, but he was maxed, right? So if he doesn't do something, then Tarson's going to start closing that gap. So excellent play there out of Ret. I'm not sure if we're going to go to the players for an interview or not, but we can see him there shaking hands on the screen. Really, really impressive games there.
Yeah, it was really solid play by Ret. I really loved it. All right, so we're gonna get we're gonna have a break soon. Then we're gonna continue with either an interview or just with the next best of 3. We already announced it once. Wydra against Toys, and I'm so excited. I love seeing Mr.
God, it's gonna be crazy, crazy. Grandpa Toss is the man. Thorzane, TSL champion, hasn't really put up any great results since that though. So should be awesome. So guys, don't go anywhere. We're gonna be back with an interview in just a little bit. Thanks so much for watching the European Bnet Invitational. Don't go anywhere.